All right, guys, it is Friday, finally. I have another small window, so I'm going to change this cutie pie. And I just thought that this angle looks so cute. I'm probably going to bring the camera down when I change him just so that you don't have to look at the top of my head. But this angle is adorable. Yeah, so this is baby Niklaus here with me. We're in a new spot. He's sleeping in his nice little Moses basket. And you guys, if you can believe it, I've got baby fever. I don't really know what that is. I know I'm not alone. I've been talking with Tasha about this too, but man, when it hits, it's not even like, for me, obviously I can only speak for me, but it's not even like I thought, well, I'm missing something and I need another doll. But every once in a while I'll take a look at what's out there, or I'll come across a listing for a baby for sale that I think is real cute, and then I'll look at that person's page, and then I'll look up more of the sculpt, and then it just becomes this hunt for the perfect one. You know, okay, so I don't know if anybody has ever seen this movie. There's a movie called Interstate 60. If you haven't seen it and you can find it, I definitely recommend it. I've seen it a bunch of times. I think it's an independent film, but it has Gary Oldman, who is like my favorite. I love his acting. I love his face. I just love that guy. So Gary Oldman, if you don't know right offhand who he is, he played like the detective. Was he the detective? Was it in Batman? The Dark Knight? He was in some of those movies, and he was in way back. He was in Bram Stoker's Dracula with Winona Ryder, and he played Dracula. Oh my goodness. And then he played Drexel in True Romance, which was a Tarantino film with Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette and Gary Oldman and Guy Ritchie. Not Guy Ritchie. Michael Rappaport was in it, and Balky from Perfect Stranger was in it. Anyway, so Interstate 60 is, the premise is that, so in like every major culture, there's a mythology of a wish granter, except for American mythology. And this becomes there's a guy in the beginning of the movie in a bar talking about this. This is going to be his thesis, and that's how they introduce the concept. That, you know, in Europe you have fairies and wood sprites. In England, in Ireland, you have leprechauns, and so they go through the list, but not in America. So then there's a guy sitting next to them that says, oh, well, actually you're wrong. There is a fella by the name of O.W. Grant, which means one wish grant. And the story is that his daddy was a leprechaun and who quote, knocked up a Cheyenne Indian. That was his mom. And so you got an immortal nomadic half-breed with magical powers who travels around granting wishes. And most of the times he'll screw around with you unless he takes a liking to you, in which case he'll play it straight. So he'll do things like, oh, I want to give you clean versions. Okay. I guess a couple that's going to get married and they wish for never have any problems, never fights, never anything. So the limo blows up on the way to the wedding chapel. So they had a perfect relationship with never any fights, but it ended. So things like that, where it'll be like this weird trickery. I won't tell. I'm not going to say any because they're cool stories that unfold in the movie. But at one point during this journey that the guy ends up, the protagonist, Neil, ends up going on, he meets a hitchhiker. And she's on a journey to find the perfect, we'll call it a cuddle partner. So she's got a book of all of her conquests. And she said, but the thing is that the more experiences she had, the more she kept wondering. Like the first time was meh. The second time, that was a really good time. The third time was not really as good as the next time, or as the last time. But every time she had an experience, she started to get obsessed. Like, what if the next experience was like the best experience? So now she's like on a quest to find the perfect partner. And he basically refused to hang out with her. And he said, that way, he always will be the perfect one. The one perfect in every way. The one that she never had, basically. And of course, she lost her mind over that, because then it was going to be in her head forever. I'm like, what am I on a quest for? I'm not. That story just popped into my head, but let's sit you up, little boy. How's your hair? So he wore this outfit once before. This is a cute outfit from Mother Care. My husband said when he saw him in it, he laughed. He said he looked like an Oompa Loompa. So what do you guys think? You guys tell me if he looks like an Oompa Loompa. But it's got this cute long sleeve onesie it has like little farmhouses and snow-capped mountains and trees in a really artistic format. It's got these overalls that go on top. They're knit white overalls, and then they have, just on the front, they have these little palms attached. Sorry that I keep knocking the camera. This is, of course, from Mother Care. So there he is. Does he look like an Oompa Loompa? Yeah. So, not a whole lot going on other than the usual busyness, craziness. I am trying to gear up to build up our online presence for our business. We have a website called foodhealing.org where we sell like superfoods and tonic herbs and things like that. And so I'm gonna put my Instagram experience to good use over there. So that's going on. As I mentioned, I started up a new job recently with my executive assistant business. So that's been really good. Trying to enjoy the dolls. I've gotten pretty behind on reborn videos here on YouTube, so got to get caught up on that. My stepkids went back to their mom's house. They switch every week, so they went back to their mom's house last night, but the little one is going to come and have a sleepover tonight. She's going to do a movie night with her dad, which means that there's plenty of extra bedrooms, empty bedrooms in the house right now. Well, there's 2 empty ones that I could sleep in, but I prefer the couch for some reason. So I get the living room to myself when they do the movie nights, and then they project the movies up on the wall across from the TV. They have a projector set up, and then they'll watch a movie with a speaker system, and they have this whole thing. And then I get to be left alone for an evening, which I love. So they're going to do that, and she'll go home in the morning. And then I don't think he's working tomorrow, which means some downtime for him, which is very good. And then I'm going to Florida the following week to visit my mom. I'll do some videos for that. I think I'm going to take little Ronan with me to the airport, and I'll probably have him in the baby carrier on my chest in the airport, so we'll see if I get any reactions. I'm not really sure how that's going to go. I guess I'll just film myself and it'll be what it'll be. But he'll come on the plane with me, and I just got my TSA pre-check approval, so I won't have to go through the regular security lines, which makes me feel better to take the reborn through. Now, I would take this little guy. I would be more nervous about damaging him, of course, because he's not really replaceable, and I really don't think that I could get another one of him, price-wise either. And his head is weighted with the non-rusting steel pellets. So I just would be a little concerned if they did put him through the little machine and they saw that there were metal balls in his head. Could they possibly think there's an explosive device? I don't really want them to take apart my very expensive doll, so I'm not going to do that. Oh, I do have a question for you guys. Just to get your opinion, I feel like I kind of have my opinion, and I've gotten some awesome advice from my good friend Tasha, and I really agree with her. But I'm always curious what other people think about certain topics, just because it's a good talking point. So I have an opportunity to get an amazing prototype of a very popular sculpt by a dream artist of mine from a collector who just purchased it in December. The prices are reflective of prototype prices. Okay, we had a brief little interruption, but so what are your thoughts about getting super beautiful, high quality doll that is definitely going to be priced appropriately, given that it was a prototype, for the cost of getting 2 to 3 really nicely done dolls? Like, what would be your deciding factor that would make that a yes for you? Would it be the sculpt? Would it be the actual baby? Would it be the status of the artist or the status of having a prototype? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. All right. Well, I gotta run because our visitor has arrived. Thank you for joining us and checking out this little cutie pie. Definitely try and get on this weekend and do some more stuff with the babies for you guys, but I look forward to seeing your videos and to hearing from you. And if you feel like it, definitely remember to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you again. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.